Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. It's 10 a.m. bang on the money. Ish. It's 11:18.
Live.
11:19 now. It's just changed. Welcome in. How are we all doing? Yeah, it's not 10 a.m. ish, but it's Christmas, so who cares? Way. Well, it's almost there. It's almost there. The last scoop pre-Christmas. And yes, I did say the scoop. My name is Graham Day. This is the man that we call Baby. And that, right at the top, just there, is a lightsaber that you can just about see. We might see it when I go to the
I don't think you can on
split
that
screen. You can just about see it on mine, but you might see it on split screen-ish. But yeah, welcome in. We are Ice Cream Uploads in true Ice Creamy fashion. This is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, even if we do say so ourselves. Hey, if you're in the chat, please feel free to get involved, because we're going to give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories in the world of video games, and we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions in return. So we can create a debate, and it's important that you do that if you are here live at 10 a.m-ish on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, because we turn this live stream into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So if you're in the chat, use your voice on behalf of those watching and listening on demand a little bit later on. Before we do jump in and start talking video games, a couple of things to mention. This is the last scoop of the year, ish. This will be the last time that we go live at 10 a.m-ish for the scoop, because it's the 22nd of December. We have the 23rd, 4th, then Christmas, and then the news machine pretty much stops. So we're going to pause with the scoop until the start of the new year then. So this will be the last one of the year. We have given it a bit of consideration, and thinking back to last year, there was very little for us to report on. So we just thought, well, rather than just scratch around and try find some content, we'll put a pin in it and then we'll come back fresh, bigger and better for you next year. Although we will be recording some content that you can enjoy offline as well in the gap between now and then. So yeah, nice. Anyway, babe, how's things?
Yes. Good, man. What about you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate, not too bad. Much less of the Rona, which is nice. Still there. It is weird as feck, because like obviously when you've got the virus, you've got all the feverish stuff, your cold and the hot and cold sweats and the snot and the phlegm and the aches and the shits and all of the lovely things that you always want to talk about on the internet. Nice. Most of that stuff has gone now, apart from like the crap in the throat, like the phlegm production. That's still like there, and from most people I've spoken to, that seems to be like the long tail of it kind of thing. So you get COVID, and then the bit that they call long COVID is just the stuff that lingers. So yeah, long story short, lots of tissues being used in this house. Nice. But apart from that, yeah, not too bad. So, PES 6. Tell us more. For those that haven't seen it, Bibby has been tweeting pictures of PES 6 that he's been modding to the tits. So tell us more, Bib.
Yes. So last week, there's like a very small collective of retro PES guys. There's, I say, a small community, i.e., people that I just speak to on a daily basis. So there's Marlon, Shales, and Chucky. Every single one of us will know who they are if you're into PES. And they every now and again put something into the group. Look what I've just stumbled across, and I seen Marlon post a video of Son running down the left-hand side of the pitch in PES 6, and I was like, fuck. I always knew there's always been a Firebird patch, but no Firebird patch has come close to what this looks like. So basically it's just like a 1080p 4K version of PES 6, so the resolution, the textures just look amazing, and then new player faces, call names, the stadiums, everything just been lumbered into PES 6, and it's a sight to behold, should put it that way. So last Friday or Saturday, I used Parsec, me, Marlon, Chucky, and Shales all played 2v2 off of my PC. And it was a good old time. Shales' internet is a little bit shit the first time round, so he gets them chugging out. But
I know why that is. That's because Shales doesn't have a router. Shales has built a router out of 1993 televisual parts. That's what it is. It's like a JVC, like VHS, VCR kind of thing built into a modem. That's what it is.
But the scoreboards was a little bit wonky and didn't work properly. But people in the Evo Web have obviously been putting fixes out, very much like they're still doing for 2021 now. That's still not a complete game in terms of there's still no FA Cup or Charity Shield scoreboards, but they've just made a default one for PES 6. So it tells you what competition. So it says like Master League, Second Division. So playing against like Real Madrid and stuff like that with the view to trying to get into the Premier League, it is just as hard as I remember it being. Like shooting on it is ridiculously difficult compared to other PESs. But I'm enjoying the grind when you go 1-0 up and Castolo bags at the
standard.
Madrid.
Standard.
Yeah, standard.
Standard. Castolo things.
So when you bag in when winning 1-0 away at Real Madrid, yeah, it does. It makes my heart, soul, and body complete with things like that. So yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying playing PES 6 again. I probably will play in a shitload more over Christmas. I just love playing retro PESs. And I was playing one before I came across this one. I was playing that 2002-2003 patch again on my PC. It's just there's just something about them old games, and it's something that I've talked many times about on here. Like I love playing new Pro Evolutions. But the older ones it grabs me by the balls every single time. Like it's just that one more game feeling has never been more evident than playing the older versions of the game. That's I think what my Christmas period is going to be like. I mean, I got the RG 350. Yeah, RG 350 last year for Christmas, and I've spent most of the year downstairs playing ISS and Pro Evolution 1 on that because it's an emulator. But I'm going to post something on my Twitter, hopefully in the coming days, about an eBay bid that I actually sent to you, Graham. That I got for an absolute steal, so I can't wait to post that. Hopefully when they arrive after Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize that things that vibrate come in that kind of bulk orders. But I mean, well done for securing that kind of thing, bid. Nice. It's like watching Cyberpunk. Dildos everywhere.
This is going to be a
Anyway, welcome in if you're in the chat. Thomas Adam, hello. Welcome in, dude. Welcome in. I did see your message over the weekend, I think it was. Copied head, so I'm not quite sure when it was, but thank you very much. Wonderful message to receive. I know Bibby did respond to you as well, so GG's, welcome in, dude. Jim Butters, Mr. Butters says, up the ICU, let's go. You goddamn right. Using those exclusive ICU emotes. There is another one, which Ice Cream Uploads did post in the chat a little bit earlier, and it sounds a little bit like this.
And for the last time this year, here we go. Hello!
Yes, there you go. Mr. Gary Clark says, morning shaggers, and also says, Shales has been downloading all the porn. That's why his internet is sketchy as fuck. Well, there's that too. That's part of the reason of that is, well, part of the reason of that? Yeah, words. I could words. Bibby's probably part of the problem there because you were all using his internet and, you know...
Thank you for the
some of the things...
Nothing wrong with my internet, I'm telling you that now.
No, I'm not about your internet. I'm about what you've been downloading.
Nope. I will never admit to anything. You can't prove anything.
Just not going to download it. He's just going to use his phone. That's what it is.
Exactly. Hey, never touch somebody else's phone or PlayStation 4 pad.
Good morning, show. He's in the chat with the issues and Pirate with 50 bits and a host as well. What a guy. What a guy. Good morning. How are we all doing? Are we all good? We've got so many Pez guys in here this morning. This is nice to see. What's everyone doing? I'm going to say up nice and early, but it's almost lunchtime, so... So yeah, there is that. 10 a.m. ish. How are we all doing? Are we all good? Are we all set for Christmas? I think we pretty much are here. A couple of bits that we've got to pick up, but apart from that, we're all good. Anyway, let's jump into some news. We have a few stories to work on today. So yeah, it's probably a good job that this is going to be the last scoop of the year because whilst we do have a roster of stories, there wasn't as much free-flowing news as there has been. I mean, I think the main reason for that is people have stopped bitching about Cyberpunk, so there isn't as much news. I mean, that was like 90% of the news of the last week. So, I mean, do you know what? Well played, CD Projekt Red, for having people hyped for 8 years and then keeping the games journalism industry running single-handedly for a full 2 weeks over Christmas. Oh, good effort. Good morning, Vern, as well. Thank you very much for the host, dude. Welcome in. How did your streams go yesterday? It was yesterday, was it? Yes, it was yesterday. I saw that you were up early. Gave you some retweet love, but I didn't manage to drop into the streams. So hopefully they're good. No, nice. Pirate says, I am working, but I'll have you on in the background. Of course you're working. Wink. I said that aloud because I thought, if I'm in the background you won't see it, but still. Anyway, jumping into the first news story of the day. Where are we? There we go. This is written by Sherif Saed for VG247. It says, you can expect more solo content in future GTA Online updates. Rockstar will pay more attention to solo GTA Online players going forward. I'm just going to stop just there for just a second. I've seen these adverts. I have a Samsung. Mr. Tharian Drake is here as well. Good morning.
Jagger.
Thank you very much for the raid, dude. How are you doing? Merry Christmas-ish, almost. Not quite there, but almost. It'll be the last chance that we do get to say that to you, though. So welcome in. Rockstar will pay more attention to solo GTA Online players going forward, says the first line of that. That does catch my attention. I have a Samsung Smart TV, and like, I think all Samsung Smart TVs, you've got like, I don't know what you call it, the tray, which basically goes across the bottom of the screen, kind of here where my hands are. That's got like all the different buttons like Sky, Netflix, Prime, whatever. And then above that, there's an advertising spot. And because your TV's a smart TV connected to the internet, the advertisements change. And I don't know whether it's just targeted at me because I play a lot of games, but it's usually a video game advertisement in there for me. And a lot of the time, it's GTA Online content. And it just doesn't get my attention. It's like the diamond something or other. I was like, I'm not bothered because I like GTA, but I like the story mode, the online stuff. As we've mentioned a few times before, I'm not going to go too deep into that just yet. It has other players in it, and playing with other people on the internet that you don't know doesn't always give you what you want from a video game. So I usually don't touch GTA Online. So the heists have just passed me by. They keep coming out thick and fast, and not bothered. But now this one's saying it's solo stuff in it. That does catch my attention a little bit more. So anyway, jumping back into it then. The release of the Cayo Perico heist, GTA Online's biggest update yet, not only brought a big new heist for players, it also added a new location, new vehicles, weapons, and much more. But something those who don't keep up with GTA Online may not have picked up on is that the Cayo Perico heist can be played entirely solo, something none of the other heists offer. This not only makes it easier to stealth the entire thing, since you won't have to worry about teammates messing up a perfect run, it also means you have the full cut to yourself. The decision to allow solo players to be able to finish the Cayo Perico heist without help wasn't an accident, and it is in fact part of Rockstar's plan to not leave solo players behind. Which is me, who's been left behind. Speaking to GQ, Rockstar design director Scott Butchard said the move has been... excuse me. cough. The move has been a long time coming, and that you can expect future GTA Online content to also follow the same commitment. It's something that's been on our minds for quite some time, and the community has been vocal about it, said Butchard. It's something we're keen to carry forward. Butchard added that players should be free to choose their approach, knowing that each one offers different benefits. We want to respect teams and players who want to co-op, but at the same time, still allow solo players to get just as valid an experience out of it. There's perks to both. If you go in there by yourself, you're taking 100% of the cut, and it's a lot easier to do stealth and plan when you're not on comms. With multiple players, you can split up and do multiple things at once. You can take more of the secondary objectives, so I could send Tarek off to control tower to take down air defenses while I start looting from the weak cash piles. I think going forward, we're going to inject more of that single player element into GTA Online, he confirmed. If you've yet to jump in yourself, we've prepared a couple of very helpful guides and things linked in the article there. One thing, just before I do jump off screen, where was the comment? There you go. You can take more of the secondary objectives, so I could send Tarek off to the control tower to take down air defenses while I start looting from the wee cash piles. I mean, is this guy Scottish? I know. I know. I know Rockstar was founded in Scotland. I've lost the name of who was being interviewed here. Rockstar design director Scott Butchard. The fact that he said "we cash piles," he has to be. I'm taking it. Anyway, GTA Online will have more single player online content. Big thoughts.
Yeah, and it's something that I actually put in the advertisement of this episode. Like, what does this mean for GTA 6? Is this going to be a hybrid? Are we going to see GTA 6 being entirely online? Because if they're putting single player missions in now, where does that leave us? The only thing that's obviously going to change with GTA 6 is the way that the storyline and where it's set, and who the main characters are going to be. But in an online environment now, they're starting to have single player, I'll put in air quotes, campaigns, because it's classed as heists on this, but to have single player influences and game modes within an online environment, I think that is an awesome move to try and get people in the mood for whatever will be GTA 6. We've had so many different variants of what the new GTA could be, but it says in the article this is the first time we're having GTA heists and it's a single player experience. That's mental. I'm very much like you when it comes to that. Coming to GTA Online, I couldn't be asked trying to make friends online to be able to complete heists, so I just never did them. I'd run around in the environment, do whatever I need to do, whether or not be racing or just the stuff that I know I can play on my own, because I couldn't be asked trying to find other people to be able to do these heists with. So I have never completed or even attempted to do a heist on this game. But the fact that I'm now able to go in and do these on my own, that gives me the opportunity to think, do you know what? Do I want to reinstall this game again and just try it out for myself and see what the crack is? I've never had that kind of feeling before when it comes to GTA heists. So yeah, it's a massive, massive move. What this means for GTA 6, I don't know. Is this the tester to see whether or not this kind of thing will work leading into the new game? Pass. No, nobody knows what we're going to expect from GTA 6 yet. It's all just hearsay and speculation. So I'm excited to see where this leads us.
Just want to point out that Bibby is sponsored by Microsoft. That's why he said leading into the new game. Pass. He just can't have a full episode without mentioning Game Pass in some form. Got get the hashtag ad in. So yeah, there you go. Do you know what? We had to shout it out, because if we didn't, we get done. Not a lot advertising stuff.
For like what?
Yeah, exactly. I like this. I do wonder why they've done this, because GTA Online is huge. Is it just Rockstar understand that there's more than one audience and they want to scratch the itch for everyone? So if you are a single player, you can go on and play single player content. You don't have to have a team of people with you, and you can still enjoy GTA Online. Is that what it is? Because that's wonderful if it is. Or is it a case of they're seeing a drop off towards the end of a generation, and this is an easy win for them? Because obviously there's still a shit load of people who play GTA in multiple forms, be that just playing the game for fun, going on and doing like the boat races, the car races, the stunters and the snipers, the custom maps and things like that, going on and doing heists, going into RP servers or whatever. There's still shitloads of people out there. Is this Rockstar leaning into their community and trying to give them different ways to play? If it is, that's wonderful. If it's them trying to just find different ways to entice people to keep playing the game at the end, it's still wonderful, because there's plenty of learnings from it. I mean, either way, it's a good thing. I just wonder what...
It could just be whetting the appetite, though, as well. Because don't forget, this game is coming out on PlayStation 5 soon. Like, we are just getting it on like a GTA Online free-to-play version of the game. Like, we don't even need to install the full game, which is nice, because this is going to be an absolute stupidly large file. Maybe not Warzone size, but it's still going to be stupidly large. But I think this potentially whetting the appetite for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X versions of the game. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it could be. So it has been confirmed that Grand Theft Auto will be coming out on the next gen consoles. I remember seeing that it will be coming to PS5. I assume the same with Series X, although I can't say for certain if that has been confirmed. It probably has, but I've seen the PS5 messaging. I haven't seen the Xbox message. I assume that's the case.
I'm assuming as well. I don't know that for certain. We know it's definitely going to be free on the PlayStation 5, but you just assume that it has to come to the Xbox as well. But it might just be an exclusive thing for a certain amount of time.
I imagine it will be an advertising thing. The reason it appeared in the PS5 thing is because they wanted something to sell the PS5 announcement stuff. I imagine it's both consoles, and probably not even exclusive timed or anything like that, but it was just a marketing thing alongside it. Let me just... No. I was seeing if there's anything within the article. Anyway, it will be... It's almost definitely going to be on Xbox and PlayStation. The only one that we've seen being said is PlayStation. So if you do have any confirmation, then feel free to drop it in the chat and let us know, and we'll let everyone else know. But yeah, I mean, it's coming to the next gen. Giving players the ability to play solo and multiplayer from the off on a new system, that could be entirely new gamers. The chances are it's not going to be, but it could be. And if it's not entirely new gamers, it could be entirely new GTA gamers. Someone could have never played GTA before, They've never had Game Pass, they've never had Epic Games, and they've never purchased the game over the last 72 generations that it's been out. It's been that long. But if it's free to play, which GTA Online is going to be, this gives people that single player into a GTA world ahead of the next GTA coming out. So that's a way to get people in, get people spending potentially, and get people into the mindset of being in that environment ahead of the next release. So yeah, there's definitely some moves within that 100%. Jumping in the chat, Vern says, yeah, I had a good one, just chilling with you guys right now as I await sinus surgery. Oh, fun times. How is that gonna impact on you? You're gonna be out for a few days. Hopefully you can still taste your Christmas food and everything. Hopefully it's all good. Merry Christmas, lads, says Darian Drake. Good day, sir. Thank you once again for the raid, dude. Much appreciate it. As we do every single time. Much appreciated. Thomas Adams says, I've literally never touched GTA Online. I think that's the reasoning for this. There is a lot of people that haven't. There's a lot of people that love certain games and haven't touched their online elements. So GTA Online, I have barely scratched the surface of. I've played quite a lot of hours of irrelevant stuff. So the bit I mentioned earlier, Snipers versus Stunters, a custom game. None of the stuff that really is part of the online stuff. It's just the creative stuff that people can add onto it. I spent more time in that than the online stuff because I just didn't have the people with me, and I didn't feel the onboarding process for new players was fair enough. You just go in and just get slapped. I mean, every time we talk about this, we talk about the same thing. You go in and someone just rocket launches the shit out of you, and you die, and you get rocket launched and you die. And most people have had that at some point, if not their very first start to GTA Online. So it kind of just like, I was like, I'm not bothered. I mean, I could probably work my way around it. I could probably find ways to fight back or whatever, but I'm not interested. I don't want you to hold my hand with a full GTA San Andreas. This is how you ride a bike. Keep tapping X so you pedal faster, or whatever. Don't want that either, but I don't want to just fully go into the deep end. So, yeah, a lot of people haven't played GTA Online. So, yeah, you're not alone with that at all, Thomas, but this might be trying to change it. It does have my attention, though. I must admit, at this point in time, I don't know whether it's just because I've not played that much games over the last few weeks, having COVID and then catching back up. I mean, I have watched a lot of content in the meantime, so I've pretty much worked my way through the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, The Mandalorians, and all a bunch of other things as well. But video game-wise, I have kind of stepped back. I mean, maybe that's because I usually play a lot of PUBG, and PUBG had like the end of a season and start of a season, and it's I'm just not 100% happy with it at the moment. Let's put it that way. So not particularly loving life with PUBG. Fortnite, I wanted to do the Mandalorian grind, but I don't enjoy playing it every day. I like it at the end of the season where you can kind of fly through it, playing it that Christmas full week, bam, smash, yes. So not really enjoying Fortnite. And then I've got Spider-Man remastered to finish and Miles Morales to go through, which I do enjoy, but it's single player, so it's a bit more just sit back in your chair and relax as opposed to like adrenaline gameplay. So yeah, maybe this has my attention a little bit more right now because the games that I usually play just aren't kind of scratching the itch.
Yeah,
maybe. Anyway, back into the chat. Gary says, "Good idea that from Rockstar. Makes sense to add solo option for those that don't play with others on GTA Online." I mean, absolutely. He also says, "I think GTA 6 will work the same as 5, but have a similar setup to Forza Horizon 4, where you can enter an offline or online mode within the same universe, within the same world." In terms of how does that work? I mean, is that kind of the same thing that works with? Is that how 5 works though? You kind of, or is there? No, because on 5 you've got obviously. I don't know. I will move on. I'll just send me blue screening.
I don't. We haven't played Forza Horizon to know how that works, but on GTA 5, it's you have to go to the story mode section and it'll pan up to the fucking universe, look down, sit there for 15 minutes, and then wait to boot you into the online stuff. Yeah. But I've never played Forza Horizon 4. Sorry, I played the very first mission at Arcade Club. That was it. I don't know how the hybrid online offline situation works out.
Yeah. Do tell us more. Tell us what you mean, Gary. Good morning, Madge. He says, "Hey, this isn't right. Where's my dollop of cyberpunk news? We already did the cyberpunk section, Madge. So I apologise. It was the last 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
It's like we planned that week. Darius Stone. Good morning, and thank you very much for the follow 7 minutes ago, dude. Much appreciate. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Did you ever play The Last of Us multiplayer? And do you think the upcoming version will be important as a Sony exclusive multiplayer? I mean, I didn't. That's another multiplayer. That's another game that has huge single player and a very successful multiplayer. Not obviously to the levels of GTA Online, but The Last of Us Online was hugely successful. I know a lot of people that swear by how good that was. I didn't touch it. Didn't even load it up once because I knew it just was not what I wanted. I wanted that storyline, those player mechanics and things work perfectly in that storyline setting. If you take those out and put them into a different setting, it's just not quite the same. You almost have to make apologies for certain like gameplay mechanical choices. So I'd rather just keep away from it. So yeah, I didn't bother touching it. Didn't play it. I probably will. I don't know. I'll keep my mind open for the next one. I haven't even played The Last of Us Part 2 yet, so yeah, I don't know about playing the multiplayer just yet. When I've not even played the single player, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, do I think it will be important as a Sony exclusive multiplayer? I think it will be important for The Last of Us community on Sony, but I don't think that's going to move the needle. Not like The Last of Us Part 2 has. Commercially and critically, Last of Us Part 2 has been a huge success, or at least, I mean, it's garnered a lot of conversations. It's definitely been a success. It's also been controversial in some reasons, whether you agree with that or not. Well, that's a different conversation, but it's definitely moved the needle. I'm not sure the multiplayer will have the same impact. I think that will be more of a flash in the pan. People, oh yeah, see it, wow, yeah, I played it. You'll see your favourite streamers, and I know that's us. I mean, your other favourite streamers. You'll see those.
It's going to be quite difficult to make people give a shit about it again, though. Like, how long has The Last of Us been out now? 3 months, maybe. And you're asking people to come back to the game, like they would have finished it 3 months ago, and they're coming back in, and now they're releasing multiplayer 3 months after the fact. How far is the disconnect there? Like trying to get them to come back into your game and play a multiplayer map. I don't know. I could just be talking right out of my arse here, but I think trying to get people to come back to a game, a single player experience, and then 3 months later saying we've got an online mode now, is that enticing enough to bring people back in?
I think it could be,
sure.
Because of what else are you playing 3 months in on your PS5? I think from that sense, people kind of like it gives them something PS5-ish to run at, and not only that, 3 months in. Some people might still just be picking up, or might be able to pick up a PS5 at that point in time, so it gives them something to jump into. Obviously, they've got the PS Plus collection, and there are a few games out there now. Obviously, there's not shitloads because it's still the early days of the generation. So with that, I think it will give them a little bit more time to jump in. But without that, no, I completely agree. There is a huge disconnect. It's that thing that I did that once a while ago. Do I want to go do something that's not quite as good again? No. I'll do something else instead. If it comes out at the same time as anything else, I think it definitely will have a very short lifespan in that sense. But that's it. It's never really meant to be the multiplayer of The Last of Us. I mean, the multiplayer's always been there, but that's never what sold it. So I think it will be important for The Last of Us community. I don't think it will be important for Sony per se, not in that sort of sense, not in the same way. Also, play Foden more. In what context?
Yeah, Darius is my guy. I think he must be a Masters of the League guy. Must be. I mean, unless he's just a massive City fan or he's just got a gripe with Pep Guardiola and his non-playing Phil Foden antics. But yeah.
I can say if you are a Masters of the League fan, that will return next year as well. But we do play Foden fairly often. He plays for Ice Cream Uploads FC and he plays pretty often. Although he's close to being taken out of the team, though. You know, if we do sign Wilfred and Didi, but that's a conversation for a different stream. But yeah, thank you very much for the comments.
Play Foden more, just tickle me that. Just drop it. Also, play Foden more. You fucking legend.
I don't know if you can tell, if you didn't know already, but just look above City. Baby's head. Yeah, he's a bit of a City fan. So yeah, no, we tried to beat it out of him. Just doesn't work. God. The new Warzone map is fun, says Wicked Slippers. Is it? I have seen. You are.
I need to download Warzone, man.
I have seen a lot of comments on Warzone on the map, and genuinely, I have not seen one single negative comment. Not that I've gone looking for them, but the comments that pop up in my feed, usually if a new game comes out and someone's enjoying it, they're like, oh, I fucking love this. This map's wonderful. Just as likely as someone you follow might be going, okay, I've just been playing Warzone and it's just not the same as it was last year. The map's just not great for it or whatever. And I've seen people just like high-fiving map developers from a million years ago. I don't know much about this new Warzone.
Stay frosty, yeah.
But Gagad, I do know that you've subscribed for
Good
4
morning,
months in a
gents.
row. Hey, good morning, gents.
Hey,
Welcome in, dude.
legend.
Thank you very much for the 4-month sub. This month's loot drop winner, by the way, Gagad. There you go. Just getting himself in for the next month loot drop. I know what you're doing. Well played. But yeah, I've seen people commenting, the developers of the maps from Black Ops 20 years ago, or maybe not 20 years ago, however many years ago. This is me guessing from comments. I'm assuming, like Verdansk, this map is a number of different areas from Call of Duty kind of stitched together. Is that the case? I assume that is the case. And if that is the case, the comments that I've seen have been positive. People say the way that the map still, a good map is a good map because it stands the test of time. You put that map into a new game and it still works completely the same way. Put it in a bigger map and just have it as a specific part of it and it still works. So I've seen nothing but positivity around the new Warzone map. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna have to get that on my PlayStation, get that updated too. Yeah. Christmas Warzone.
Yeah.
Gary says in Forza Horizon 4 you can jump into the online world instantly and jump out instantly and it doesn't kick you out of the mud. Okay, that's cool.
Nice. Like that a lot. I think it's on Games Pass now, actually. There's your quote for today. I think that Forza Horizon 4 might be on Games Pass on my PC, so I may give that a whirl. I did really like the old Forza games, obviously the motorsport ones where it was all track. But I don't think I've played Horizon. My brother loves it. My brother loves Horizon. So yeah, that might be something that I could try and jump on with him. But yeah, looks good.
Herodian, welcome in, and thank you for the 3 posture checks. I did sit up when they happened. I did. I may have slouched again since, but I'll sit back up again. How's things? It's been a while. Hope you're okay. Darius Stone says Factions was amazing, but the game is 7 years old now, and it's not only outdated. There's numerous glitches allowing you to shoot through walls and stuff, which is a shame. I mean, that's kind of. I
didn't think the server would still be on.
Yeah, no idea. But seems like it is. Last of Us multiplayer was fantastic, and I'm hyped for Part 2's multiplayer. Gary, we'd expect nothing less from you. You. No, I have heard good things about Factions, the multiplayer side of The Last of Us. I have heard good things about it. Doesn't surprise me that it's not spectacular, because it is 7 years old, and the mechanics of any single-player game usually evolve quite significantly in 7 years. So the single player, what's the word I'm looking for? Not industry. The single player genre. Even though you've got multiple genres within it, it's not really a genre. We'll just use that word. The mechanics, the player controls, the camera controls and stuff evolve over time. And most games, even though they might have different control schemes, evolve kind of in parallel to each other. So 7 years ago, games might still play pretty well, might still be pretty decent, but yeah, it might just be a bit rough around the edges. So that doesn't surprise me. But expect, as good as that was at the time, expect the next one to be that good. It's what I'd say. I think it's meant to be a DayZ style thing in the Last of Us world. Interesting.
Oh god.
Interesting. We will see. I didn't think it was going to be anything like that. That would be interesting though. That would be a huge thing. Wicked Slipper says, anyone know what the load times are like on GTA with the new consoles and the fast ads or SSD. Okay, there we go. Autocorrect. God damn it. Yeah, it is a lot faster. I think it's like in some cases it's like halving the speeds and things like that. It's still GTA though, built in the way that GTA was, so there still is considerable loading times. But I believe something that was like over 3 minutes was down to like 1 minute and 10 or something like that. So it's 1 minute and 10 seconds is a long time to be sat there, but it's not 3 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's considerably better, but there is still loading times. It's a small map based on Alcatraz, but things are more built out, etc. No new big map yet. I would like to try it. I will try it. I will try that one. Darius Stone, are you also worried that the picture-in-picture stuff on PS5 is a stealth way of getting adverts for free-to-play games like Fortnite to flash up during sessions?
I haven't even used the picture-in-picture yet.
Yeah, me neither.
I heard the picture-in-picture stuff, but I always thought that was something on the Xbox. I didn't even know that was a thing on the PlayStation.
No, it's so like you can do things like whilst you're playing games, you can watch videos, or whilst I'm playing the game,
yeah.
I can do like
use
share play and things like that as well. So I can watch you play your game whilst playing my game at the same time. But yeah, I didn't even know that was being used as a way for advertising. So, how does that work? Does that have like a Twitch ad? You can watch your share play will pop up in 10, 9, 8, 7, and you have to watch the advert for 10 seconds. If it does, I'm not interested in that. I will never use that function. I'm not interested. I pay for my PS Plus. I pay for my PlayStation. If I'm having to watch advertisements so I'm paying for my PlayStation, playing for my games, and I'm paying for the facilities to play it online. If I then have to watch adverts as well, I just will not use it. It's just I will not be interested. Not that I'm able to multitask anyway. There's no way that I will be able to play PUBG and have Bibby playing PES 6. Not that he can do that on his PlayStation or whatever, but Bibby playing his video games in the top corner of my screen, I wouldn't be able to concentrate. Never mind watching adverts while that happens, because adverts and normal audio are never in sync. You'll be watching like the scoop and it'll be like, yeah, so next up on the daily Cyberpunk slap is and then it'll change to like the Call of Duty Warzone advert. It'll be like, and Baby talks about CD Projekt. It's like, fuck me, my god, what the fuck was that? Apologies for anyone that just deafened, by the way. But that's what the adverts can be like. So fuck that. Imagine that you're in a top 10 situation in PUBG and they're like concentrating to move. Oh, there's a guy around this corner, I know it. And then all of a sudden,
It's an advert for the boys.
Yeah, exactly. Some man, fuck off. So yeah, if that is a thing, nope, I will never be using it. Not worried about the advertising stuff, because that's neither here nor there. We live in a world where everything is advertising. It's just the nature of it. I'm not interested. Just like dickhead, what the fuck are you screaming? Enjoy.
You just killed the poor fella.
Where did we get to it? Morning, lads. Have I missed the Cyberpunk scoop? You did, I'm afraid. You did. Sorry, Tito. We actually have no Cyberpunk stories today, which is amazing. It's amazing.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah, absolutely. Darius says it hasn't happened yet, but I think my games as a service. But I think with games as a service, it's going to come. I think NBA 2K or something runs adverts in the menu screens. Okay. I get you. Within games, yeah, like NBA 2K had something and it has been removed and they've apologized. And EA had it in UFC and it has been removed and been apologized. It will keep coming. That is a mistake. That is a result of overstepping, but the overstepping is coming from something that the reason you're seeing those adverts happening is because businesses are trying to find ways to maximize revenue, and in stepping new ground, they will take incorrect steps. So you will get stupid adverts in the middle of your menus and stuff like that are non-skippable and take a stupid amount of times, but that is par for the course of companies learning how to effectively take your money. Sometimes they will do it ineffectively, and those are those examples. So we will have that kind of stuff. And I'll give you an example of that from a game that I absolutely enjoy playing, but something that I particularly dislike, I significantly dislike, is PUBG. In PUBG, they have the option for you to customize your player skin. your character's appearance, just like you can in any BR. You go into Fortnite, I've got multiple things set up. You basically have like 30 different slots, and I've got one set up as Kylo Ren, one set up as Wolverine, one set up as Thor, one set up as the Mandalorian, and so on, so on, so on, so on. So when I want to change my appearance, I can just go click, click, and I've got 30 different slots, maybe more, that I can just put things in. PUBG has never had that. You can go in and customize your character before a game and then queue up with your character as it is. They've just added the ability to have 5 slots now, which is good, because imagine if you're dressed up head to toe in black because you're expecting urban warfare, but then you get put on Vikki, which is a snow map, which is white. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb. So if you have a second slot, you can then go, oh, I'll choose my white costume so that I'm a stealth ninja again, but the opposite. They'll never see me. It's wonderful. That's good. That is a functional mechanic, though. By having different clothing options, you literally impact on someone's play. It's not just cosmetic, because if someone is harder to be seen, that is gameplay function. That changes the gameplay. Fine, that's great, that's wonderful. What's not wonderful, though, is that PUBG has put those behind a paywall. To have a second slot and a third, fourth, and fifth slot, you have to spend money on those slots. Not only do you have to spend money on those slots, you have to spend money for time. So you basically put, I don't know, whatever, so let's say $1.99. It could be 99p, it could be less, it could be more. On slot 2, I want my second slot. I'll spend my 99p and I unlock it for a month. And then after a month, that slot locks back up again. So I have to spend another 99p next month to unlock that slot. And then another 99p. And then another 99p for slot 3, slot 4, slot 5. So I've got multiple slots.
Game.
What's that?
It's like a mobile game. That's like a mobile game monetization method.
It is. I believe it is in PUBG Mobile. I don't know enough to say because I don't play PUBG Mobile. Yeah, I believe that's where it's come from. But that's it. PUBG Mobile is a free-to-play game. This is a game that's full price. I paid full price for PUBG. I bought the digital version, which I have installed on my console, and there are these things in. I mean, I believe this is the team trying to figure out how they can monetize and take money out of the game. I don't believe that they see the difference in, one, it's a shitty payment system. There's already a battle pass system, which you're earning money off, plus G-Coin, so I can buy cosmetics and stuff on top of that in the store. So putting these functions behind a paywall is horrendous. That is bad. But it's an actual pay-to-win mechanism. Because if you put functions that will impact on your chances of winning a game, i.e. having the white outfit on a white map, and then put that behind a paywall, that's pay-to-win. The game is pay-to-win, and it's already full price. That's horrendous. So you will see companies making decisions. This might not last. They might actually listen to some of the backlash that has been going on about it, then I might make changes to fix it, like EA did and like 2K have done with NBA. I hope they do, because this is a horrendous money-grabbing decision from a company that already has a shitload of players that spend a lot of money. So I hope they fix it, because that's not good. It's not good. just looking back, back through the comments. What are you screaming? I jumped from my chair. Thomas Adams says, I actually just shit myself when you screamed. Then I was sat in my lounge. I apologise. I apologise to everybody. Sorry if I called you a dickhead. It was a friendly insult. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's
you
fine.
have to do better than that to insults, mate.
It's fine.
How much stuff that?
I mean, if you just called me a dickhead and I hadn't just screamed at you, then maybe it'd have been a bit of a different story. But to be fair, I've just been a dickhead, so it's fine. It's okay.
You just nearly killed someone. I apologise if you are driving, by the way. You just swerved into the M6 hard shoulder. I apologise. Yeah.
Game companies will never set a limit. Up to consumers to speak with their wallets. Lines will always shift. They will. They absolutely will. And that's not just a games companies thing. That's an always thing. It's simple consumer mechanics. People will spend money on things that they want to spend money on it, and then when people stop spending money on it, then things will change. It's not necessarily that's consumerism, capitalism. But yeah, the point is it's not anything new. But the point still remains, new or not. If you don't like something, don't do it. I will not be putting money into those slots on PUBG. I will change my outfit as and when. If that's what it needs, fine. But I will not just put money in just to change my outfit because they want another way to get money off me. I put more money into PUBG than I put into most games because I get my hours out of it. I enjoy it, and I see the value in it. I'm not just going to start putting money in because they just want other ways to squeeze it out of me. I don't like that sort of stuff. So I will vote with my wallet on that. And I will vote verbally on that. I will share, as I've just done, that I do not like these ideas. I do like some of the stuff, like the new map that's coming is actually really good. It's a very small, very quick map, only 32 players. You can play duos in it. It's a completely different mindset from PUBG. It has like some NPCs in it. So you have like little points where there's a commander, which is like a super bot, and his guards, which are like smaller bots that you can kill and take their loot and stuff. And it's a different mindset. It's a different way to play PUBG. Love that stuff. Don't love the other stuff. So I will tell you that I like some stuff, but I will tell you that I don't like some stuff. And I will vote verbally and with my wallet. I will not be putting any money into those bits. Just like I'd expect nobody to put money into something if they don't like it. What's that?
You're starting to turn me on a little bit with that description. That sounds just like that's my issue with PUBG, and it's something that I've been saying for the longest time, which is why I don't play it. For me, it's like a looting simulator. The matches are just too long for someone who's shit as me. So something that's just 32 people dropping in and I can play it and it'll last 10 minutes. That's perfect for me.
Yeah, it's a 1x1 map, whereas PUBG is 8x8, 8 kilometers by 8 kilometers. This one's just 1x1, and it has things like it has a tank that drives around, and when it sees you, that fires at you. It has a helicopter that's flying around, and when it sees you, that puts the spotlight on you, so the tank comes and gets you. And it's just meant to keep you moving and keep you going, as opposed to just be slower pace. So it's nice. It's different. It's different from PUBG, which is good. A bit of variety is nice. It's nice. Anyway, enough PUBG. PUBG's not even on the agenda to be spoken about. You can tell I'm annoyed at the slot thing.
It never is.
I think FIFA, Fortnite, etc. have shown it's well worth getting as many microtransactions into big franchises as possible. It is, and it can be well worth it to everybody. Fortnite has shown that it's well worth getting microtransactions in, because you will churn money. But Fortnite does it in a way that I do not have a problem with. I don't have a problem with how many skins. I don't have a problem with the fact that they change all the time. Fortnite has such a constant fear of missing out that there's never really a fear of missing out. It's just it's just another one. Oh, it's just another one. Yeah. Oh, it's just another one. That I don't feel like they force you into putting the money into it. You know it's going to come back potentially at some point in the future, so that's fine. That's fine. If I miss it, I miss it. If I don't, I don't. But I don't feel like I'm forced to, and I don't feel like I have to grind to get their stuff as much. So I think Fortnite do it very well. FIFA, I'm speaking from second-hand opinion. I feel like FIFA is more based around microtransactions and getting to put the money into games. I don't feel like Ultimate Team is as rewarding as something like a battle pass, because that's just straightforward loot boxy kind of situation. Just like PUBG again, I don't like their loot boxy kind of mechanic. I know that's an in-game currency, BP and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't like that either. I think Fortnite though have nailed it. There's definitely a good thing with getting people to spend money in video games, because you can fund yourself as a company going forward. Just do it in the right way. Don't do it where you milk people. And you give them horrendous odds. Give them good guaranteed return on investments. And there is a middle ground that the industries are still stepping closer and closer towards. They will step too far past it with adverts, and they will step too far past it with pay-to-win mechanics and so on, which is fine. Just step back when you make those mistakes, and then we're good. Then we're good. Good morning, Bonsai! He says, hey everyone, talking of Fortnite, my lad has just got 20 quid out of me for the Black Panther skin set. It is Christmas after all. Exactly, nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with that. I've spent 20 quid on a couple of V-Bucks caches for Chloe over in the last year or so, because there's something that comes in that she really wants, like a certain set or whatever. Nothing wrong with that. It's just like going out and buying some, I was going to say a toy or something, but toys you tend to keep. I mean, technically you keep the stuff in Fortnite, but even, let's say, some food, a consumable. It's like going to McDonald's, spending 20 quid at McDonald's. Okay, it's fun, and it lasts you a few hours and it's gone. Ta-da!
Yeah.
But that's kind of Fortnite, but actually get to keep it digitally. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing right. He gave me no choice really, as he had his Nerf gun aimed at me when he asked. Okay, well that's you just being held up. When you were younger, how did you find out what games were good, and were they well expensive? So when I was younger, we used to there used to be dinosaurs roaming around the place. That was many years ago. No, magazines really.
Had a mouthful playground, I think.
Yeah. I used to buy. I can't remember. I think it was Power Station. I didn't buy the official PlayStation magazine. It was something like Power Station.
Magazine, that.
Yeah. And not only was it fuck with a magazine, it towed the company line because it was official PlayStation magazine. Power Station or whatever had pages of cheats in the back and things like that you'd never get in the official PlayStation mag, because we don't talk about the cheats. We know the cheats exist, but we don't talk about the cheats. That's not so. Stuff like that is how I'd get an idea of what was coming. Plus, I had all my mates played video games as well, so it was we all kind of like social media, but word of mouth as opposed to digitally. I remember the gaming dinosaurs that used to tell me about the latest and greatest. Good old days. Exactly. Enzo Cass, good morning, dude. Keep in mind, when we were younger, games used to be finished to completion. Yeah, that's true. I would say that
to a degree.
I probably
to a degree
spent more on games when I was younger, but I'm in a different situation where I work in the games industry, so I get a lot of games that I play without having to spend too much on. So I don't know. Maybe it balances. Maybe I get more games free now, including things like PS Plus and things like that. But I will be more likely to put money into a game now because of that. I know that obviously we work with PES, so I don't pay for PES. What I'm not against is putting money into PES on coins. I know some people are against putting money into PES. Well, that's fine. You don't do it if you don't want it. I get PES for free, so the money that I would usually spend, or that I would have spent, and that I did spend on PES for years as a fan of the series, I'm happy to put into it to get myself that early My Club Manager, or to get myself a couple of legend spins, or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, that's a tangent. Anyway, do you know what? We have waffled. We've touched on one story, and we are over an hour in. So let's quickly jump through then. Okay, I'm gonna cut off the Among Us one that I added on just because time wise. Let's jump into this next article. Before I do though, let's jump back through the chat because there is a lot of people here. Wow, everyone's just arrived. I used to rely on Dominic Diamond and Patrick Moore, Floating Head Games Master. What a show! Used to love Games Master. Who was the other guy? So there was Dominic Diamond. Who was the other presenter? So I can't remember. So Snowy, Jingle Jenk. Welcome in, Jenkins. Jingle all the way. So Snowy, nice. All of the So Snowies. Yes, it was Power Station, or if you go back further, there was Games Master on Channel 4 and Bad Influence in CITV. Yeah. I used to buy so many gaming magazines, not so much now. I mean, they don't really exist now, and the time to press. So writing, printing, distribution. By the time the magazine hits you, it's out of date. That's why they just don't exist anymore. I went to Blockbuster to get my shit. That was the 90s, baby. Yeah. I used to get one of the magazines that came with the demo discs. Those were the days. There you go. You're not a moron, Graham. Oh, moron games. Fuck you, Madge. Anyway, sorry, what were you saying, baby? You were going to jump in with something then?
The thing is, when it comes to video games, for me when I was younger, if it wasn't being talked about on the playground, then I would just have to take a punt, either because the cover art looked cool, or it was a genre that I'd already been into. So if it was a survival horror game, I knew that Dino Crisis was going to be a banger because I played Resident Evil. I knew Silent Hill was going to be a banger because I played Resident Evil. It all kind of comes into the same area. So if you played a game like that before, then it probably was going to be worth a punt. But usually it word of mouth on the playground was always. I was born in. I've just turned 30, so in the 90s, it was like my granddad was the person that got me into video games. So chances are he would have bought them first, and then I would have either watched him play it or he would have let me play it, and then I would have got onto. That's why I like a lot of genres of games. I'm not defined by like just sports games or just action games or whatever. I've got a widespread thought on all of these games. So yeah, I think either going into a shop and just having a look at a cool cover art, and it was competitively priced. If it was like £10 on the shelf, you might have half a chance of thinking, actually, that cover art's pretty cool. The back, they've advertised it well on the back. The blurb sounds okay. £10, it's probably worth it. That's how I actually played. Oh God, I'll find the name of it. It was Destructor, the Destructor, I think it was. And that's like one of a lot of people absolutely love that PS1 game. But I found that in my corner shop for a £5. The Disruptor. The Disruptor.
It's funny because back then though, I used to buy games based on just not only you mentioned covers but titles alone. I remember buying Fighting Force because it was called Fighting
Great
Force.
game. Great game, Fighting Force.
And I'd not seen it advertised. I just literally saw its name in a list and then kind of saw the picture, and it was like, it almost looked Streets of Rage-ish because you had like the big budge bloke, the small, thinner but faster bloke, and then there was always the woman character because that's how video games were designed 30 years ago. There was there was just a woman, and then thin guy, big guy, and it's usually that sort of. I mean, they could be extra, but that's the minimum of what you'd get. And
such a good game, Fighting Force.
Yeah. So yeah, I bought that based purely on the fact it was called Fighting Force, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it completely many times. But yeah,
Jimmy Lads brought a second one out.
Yeah, they did. I'd never played it though. Apparently, it wasn't very good. The first one wasn't very good in reality, but at the time it was good. It was good. It was good. It was still buggy, but it was decent enough. But they didn't.
Did you ever play the Bouncer?
No.
On PS2. That was the first PS2 game I ever played. And Mike Reed, when he got his PlayStation 2 for Christmas, that's the first ever game I played because that's what came with his PlayStation 2. That was a game and a half.
The Bouncer.
The Bouncer, yeah. Brilliant game. Well, it probably isn't now, but back then on the PlayStation 2, that was a game and a half. Squaresoft.
Yeah, that's never heard of that one. Never heard of that one.
It's basically like Fighting Force. That's what it was like.
Okay. Tell you what, talking about games you've never heard of, let's jump into a new article. And this one is a game that you've heard of, but probably never heard of. You've heard of The Simpsons, right? Yeah, I thought so. Have you heard of The Simpsons Bug Squad? You might not have done. This is an article from Vikki Blake at Eurogamer that says, here's a tech demo of a 20-year-old The Simpsons game, Bug Squad. Let me just hit play on this video whilst I'm talking through this. This is an embedded video within the article from YouTube, from the Dreamcast Junkyard. Let me just skip forward to the gameplay side of it. Bear in mind, this is a 20-year-old game on the Dreamcast. This actually looks pretty decent. So the tech demo of an unreleased The Simpsons game has been discovered on a Dreamcast dev kit. The demo of The Simpsons Bug Squad was first shared by Dreamcastic Channel, and though it was prepared for Fox Interactive by Red Lemon Studio 20 years ago, it was not commissioned. While only a tech demo and lacking both music, sound effects, and any obvious gameplay, it looks amazing for a demo made 2 decades ago. The brief video sees you, as the titular bug, explore a cel-shaded rendition of The Simpsons kitchen and lounge, avoiding Homer's feet as you go. Oh my! Not seen that for 20 years, Red Lemon Studio co-founder Andy Campbell told the channel after the footage went live. We had a great coder who had developed an amazing cel-shaded engine for DC, Dreamcast. I know Fox pretty well, so this was a demo we created and I pitched to them. We were never commissioned, so this was technically never an official title in development. This was a trip down memory lane. The tech was great, developed by a guy called Rich Evans, great coder. Bug Squad concept came from Jamie Grant, if I remember. A great art team built the models. The tech was also pitched as a production tool for the show itself. No game made, though. This does actually look really cool for a 20-year-old concept. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. You could see this easy being I don't know the correct phrasing for it, but like you drop into a game, I like PUBG. You drop into a game like PUBG, and it loads up, and you can see everything kind of loads in, all the textures load in, and then everything fully pops in when you get the full HD textures.
Crashing.
Yeah, you can see this being like that sort of like wireframe version that loads in at first. Bearing in mind, I mean, and even then, it still looks very good for something that's 20 years old running on a Dreamcast. So clearly, I mean, there you go. Anyone who didn't get a Dreamcast, clearly you had the console of the future. They just didn't sell enough of them to sustain it.
Two things come to mind with this. Like, first of all, what would the premise of this game be? Like, Bug Squad in a Simpsons game, it could have just been any other game, but just slap the Simpsons name on, because back in the year 2000, Simpsons was massive and probably one of the most popular things on TV. So anything Simpsons, we had obviously Simpsons Hit and Run, we had Bart Simpson's skateboarding. I had that game, obviously. Simpsons Road Rage. So any kind of Simpsons game probably would have sold quite well. But the premise of this game just seems extremely weird. Obviously, it looks like it runs like a bag of shit. It looks great, but the optimization just looks like it just hasn't happened. But the main thing that I want to take away from this is this game has been locked away for 20 years, and someone's found it because they've ended up getting a dev Dreamcast from somewhere. It could have been a yard sale. It could have been from a charity shop. Who knows? But what other games are we missing out on? What other games could have potentially been released over the last 20 years that have just never seen the light of day?
So many. And think of your favourite franchise of the last 20 years. There will be multiple games for that have either people internally pitching to continue the main storyline of a game, or externally pitching a side branch of a game. There will be tons. I know of more than a handful games over the last 10 years, just the last 10 years, that could have been games that never were games. And then there'll be games that will have started and then stopped in the spotlight that will probably... PT, things like PT. That is an example of a game that was going to be, that wasn't going to be. That was something that made it to media before it got stopped. There will be thousands of games out there. There could be Assassin's Creed games. There could be some Witcher spin-offs or something. But if you go back 20 years, then video game production was a very, very different thing. So we've obviously got the Simpsons game that we've just seen, that someone's pitching to Fox to try and get them to commission their game. That kind of stuff happened a lot more back then. You go back 20 years and you got the Simpsons game, you got South Park games, there was a Rugrats game on the PS1 I remember having, and you basically were running around the house, the Rugrats house, and you had to do like little side reptile missions and stuff. That kind of thing. Well,
similar to this, actually.
Yeah, very, very similar. So back then you will have got smaller developers pitching at Fox and at Warner and at any other property owning company saying, look, we can make a video game for you. We can make a video game for you, because that was a lot more prevalent 30 years ago. Konami pretty much made a video game for every film that you've ever watched ever, if you go back 30 years. Top Gun? Yeah, we'll make a game for that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? We'll make a game for that. Yeah, just everything. And that, we've kind of weaned away from that, because obviously they were just being churned out so fast, so thick. Some of them were good, some of them were horrendous. And as we as consumers wanted more and more from video games, then it became less and less acceptable to release trash. I mean, there has been a few Transformers games which have been hit and miss over the last few years, so you do still get some movie tie-in kind of things, and let's not mention Fast and Furious from this year and so on.
The thing is, when it comes to stuff like that, the easiest win, I think, would be to make arcade versions of the games. So, I mean, arcade machines now are not as prominent as they used to be, so you could go into most places and see an arcade cabinet of a game of some sort. The Simpsons arcade game was probably one of the most sold ones. I mean, the biggest one of all time, Space Invaders. How shit with that game? It wasn't a movie tie-in game, but the amount of money that got put into the cabinet was ridiculous. So having a game like The Simpsons, and then you put £1 in and you get 2 goes. Like, I think games like that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was another absolute banger. So if there was to make arcade versions of those games that were either you could buy them for £5 on the PlayStation Store or whatever, or just keep them to arcade cabinets, I think it'd work a lot better, because there'd be no expectation as to how good the game is. That Fast and Furious one that you just mentioned, there was no expectation for that. That was ever really going to be a good game. We saw the trailer. Everyone said it was going to be shit. Lo and behold, it turned out to be fucking dog shit. So there's no competition or expectation with that.
Do you know what? I had some expectation. I genuinely did. But this isn't me setting myself up to be a twat even, by the way. I genuinely saw it. I remember seeing Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez stepping out on the stage at the Game Awards or whatever it was, saying, "We're gamers. We played Tekken." No, it's Tekken, mate. But Tekken. Or we were on set or whatever, and thinking, okay, so you are gamers. I can see that you're not gamers like as you want us to believe, but you do play video games, which is wonderful, nice, and you've had the opportunity to be featured in a video game. It's nice, and some people love to hate Fast and Furious. It's a franchise I absolutely adore, even though there's been a bajillion of them, but still, it's fine. Okay, let's see it. And then you saw it and you're like, ugh, okay, this. And then I thought, okay, maybe it's early days. I don't believe it is. If they're showing this, then this is what's going to arrive. But there could still be a good storyline behind it, even though it looks like a bag of daz. No, there wasn't. So
I expected it to be shit, and lo and behold, it was. In fact, it was worse than I expected. It looked abysmal. I don't. The reviews wasn't entirely favourable, but yeah, I think when it comes to creating video game tie-ins, for me, there's still nothing better than playing an arcade game on an arcade cabinet. Some of the games back then still hold up so well now. If you go to Arcade Club, I mention it all the time, and go onto the arcade cabinet floor, your life will be complete. It'll just be the best three hours, because you don't even have to put any money into the machines. That's the best part about it. You just go to the machine, press the button, and you can play as many times as you want. But playing movie tie-in games way back in the day on arcade games, because there was no expectations that they were going to be great. Yeah, forget about spending millions and millions on new gen versions of movie tie-in games, because 9 times out of 10 they're probably not going to work that great. But arcade versions of the games work really well. It's because there was no expectation. So that's just my 2 pence.
And it's good 2 pence to have. Jumping back into the chat, David says the Simpsons games look better than the Simpsons wrestling.
I'll never have a bad word said about Simpsons wrestling. Shit. Jokes.
Remember Stuntman on the PS2, such a random game. We did play Fighting Force 2. It's one of those games we got from Dad's friends Rex. Oh, okay, I can't remember it. Yeah, my dad's mate Rex.
Did he wear a cowboy hat?
He did wear a trucker hat, not a cowboy hat, so it's not too far from it.
And did he chew tobacco?
He probably did. He probably did. That's 20 years old. That looks incredible, says Darius Stone. Dreamcast was underrated. It was a quality bit of hardware, says Tito. Dreamcast definitely ahead of its time, says Madge. I love my Dreamcast. Dreamcast was such a fantastic console. All right, guys, we get it. We like the Dreamcast. Chill out, mate. Isn't there a Star Wars game that was never released that looked amazing? 1313. Well, I don't know about that one. I'll have to Google that one. We see a demo of Star Wars 1313 at E3 before it got cancelled. Think Uncharted, but in the Star Wars universe. It looked amazing. See, I'd love... I mean, that's pretty much what the Jedi Force Awakens is. Star Wars... Is that what it's called? It's Jedi Fallen Order. That's the one. Fucking mixing things up. Jedi Fallen Order was pretty much Uncharted with a lightsaber. I loved it. That's why it was my game of the year last year. Oh my god, I remember the Rugrats game. Yeah. Do you know, I only got the Rugrats game because I had a PlayStation and I have younger stepbrother and sister and a younger half-sister. And I wanted to play Mortal Kombat and things like that, which they weren't really able to watch. So the compromise was that I could play Mortal Kombat and stuff later on, but I'd have to play stuff like Rugrats or whatever when they were around. So I was like, yeah, go on then. I actually really enjoyed the Rugrats game.
Yeah, it's just a classic platformer. You can't really go wrong. That's what the PlayStation was good at. Just really, really good platformers.
And bitches love Reptar. So yeah, there is that too.
Well, yeah, obviously.
You should just be a t-shirt that bitches love Reptar. Just Tommy Pickles wearing a Reptar. Bitches love Reptar. Good games, to be fair, Gary Clark and Driver. Ninja Turtles, awesome game, absolutely. I bet Alien Isolation has had about 3 sequels, all cancelled, said Darius Stone. Well, it's funny that you mention Alien Isolation. I will jump into the next news article off that as a little bit of an onboarding for the next bit of news. As it says, it looks like the Epic Games Store free holiday sale 2020 games list has leaked. This article is 2 days old, so you may have seen this list. We did show you a list last week that had like fucking Resident Evil 7 and Metal Gear Solid 5, and it was basically, think of all of the games that were big 2 or 3 years ago. Like AAA games from 2 or 3 years ago, that sort of level, and put them in a list. So it sounds aspirational, but it also sounds not plausible. Well, we said that it probably wasn't going to be real. Anyway, a list was leaked 2 days ago, which has now been, I would say, all but confirmed, because we're a few days later, and a number of the games that were on that list have now been confirmed as available. So we already knew that the Epic Games Store was primed to give away free games during its Epic Holiday Sale, but now a cheeky tweet has intimated what might be up for grabs across the whole promotion. This is written by Vikki Blake at Eurogamer, and it says, yesterday the freebie was The Long Dark, and today it's Defense Grid 1, which all fit within the tweet's predictions. It also includes City Skyline and Oddworld New and Tasty, which were each given away earlier this week too. I actually missed Oddworld New and Tasty, which is a little bit disappointing, although I did get it when it was free on PS Plus, so, you know, swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
Here's the tweet, so I will click on the link in the tweet just so I can give you the image. This got sent to me a few hours ago. I wasn't sure if it's real or not, but now, as New and Tasty leaked to come out today, this list is most likely still true. Still, take it as a grain of salt. I'll give you more info where it's from. So yeah, City Skyline to begin with, Oddworld New and Tasty, The Long Dark, Defense Grid 1, and today, if you have Epic on PC or the Epic launcher installed, you can get Alien Isolation for free. Tomorrow, rumoured to be Metro 2033, then to Tropico 5, Inside, Darkest Dungeon, My Time in Porsche, Night in the Woods, Stranded Deep, Solitarica, Torchlight 2, and then finishing up with Jurassic World Evolution. Not a bad list, that, Bib.
It's not. I've actually really wanted to play My Time in Porsche on my Nintendo Switch, so if I get to play it on my PC, that'll be even better. But yeah, that list seems a lot more plausible than the one that I actually tried to find, the one that you sent me last week. That was just a pile of horse shit. But yeah, this one looks a lot more plausible. It's a mixture of top tier games and a few indie ones as well, so that makes me think that this one will be more legit than the other one, because the other one was literally just AAA titles.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one seems a lot more plausible. So yeah, keep your eyes out. I've already got remix. I've already got Alien Isolation on my Epic Games. So yeah, tomorrow hopefully we can see something decent as well.
Well, this list came out, it mentioned Oddworld New and Tasty being the new game. Since then, we've had The Long Dark. I can't remember seeing that. Maybe I did. Maybe I missed it. Defense Grid 1 and Alien Isolation, which are both in there. So this has been backed up a couple more times since then. So that does seem that is likely to be the case. But for those of you that want some free games that have a PC, make sure you get involved right there. Do it. Anyone else enjoyed the Need for Speed games? The first ones wasn't bad. Need for Speed, I think pretty much the entire world loved Need for Speeds. Particularly... yeah, exactly. From the window to the world, the switches in my mouth. These bitches. Okay, stop. Yeah, Need for Speed Undergrounds, loved them. Do you know what? Most people like Underground or Underground 2. For me, I absolutely adored Need for Speed Most Wanted. I know that wasn't most people's favourites, but that came at a time where I was like first year university, living in my own place, PlayStation 2, and Christmas game, it crossed so many like different things in my life that was good. So I always have fond memories. Although I did probably enjoy more time in Underground and Underground 2, but yeah, there you go. Gary says Jedi Fallen Force Awakens. No, I didn't have the Fallen bit. If I'd got the Fallen, I'd have been fine. So it was Jedi Force Awakens. There you go. Yes, it's all right. We'll make it. I saw one list that had stuff like Horizon Zero Dawn on it. Yeah, that was the one that we shared last week.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, that's what was on it. Plus Resident Evil 7, plus Metal Gear Solid 5. That was the one that we was like, it's a rumor. Take it with a pinch, and it's not true. Torchlight 2 sounds like it could have a bright future. Hey, yay! Somebody ban Gary. I'm joking. Sorry, not sorry. I'm looking forward to Alien Insulation. Game about Xenomorph doing handiwork in your attic.
I tell you what, if they're in the keep, they can stay up there.
Tito says, "Can we get a ban, please?" Tito, you have the power. You have the sword of power. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's jump onto one final story then, just because it's here. We might as well wrap things up with it. And we haven't spoken about this for a while, but Assassin's Creed is the UK's Christmas #1 game for the first time ever. Interestingly, we get to speak about Cyberpunk in this article, so you're all welcome. You're all welcome. So Call of Duty and FIFA are denied Christmas top spot for only the third time in 15 years. Assassin's Creed Valhalla claimed the top spot on the UK physical software chart during the week ending December 19th. It marks the first time the series and its publisher Ubisoft have topped the chart at Christmas. It's also just the third time in 15 years that the Christmas #1 position hasn't been occupied by a Call of Duty or FIFA game. The others were The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim in 2011, where Bibby bought 2,456 copies per minute.
Contributed heavily that year.
And Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2018. Activision's shooter series has topped the charts at Christmas on 9 occasions, the last being in 2019, and EA's football series has done so on 8 occasions. Weekly Assassin's Creed Valhalla sales jumped 66% following some pre-Christmas price discounting, according to GamesIndustry.biz, which reports that under 9,000 sales separated the week's top 5 games. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War took second place, ahead of the previous week's bestseller, Cyberpunk 2077, FIFA 21, and Animal Crossing New Horizons. So this is the UK chart for the week ending December 19th. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla in first, Call of Duty Black Ops second, Cyberpunk third, FIFA fourth, Animal Crossing New Horizons fifth, Spider-Man Miles Morales sixth, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe seventh, which is basically more Switch console sales because nobody just buys that game on its own. Number 8, Just Dance 2021. What? People are still buying Just Dance games? Wow.
That's probably the Wii version as well.
Yeah, probably. Number 9, Ring Fit Adventure, and number 10, Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Ubisoft claimed in November that Assassin's Creed Valhalla sold more copies in its first week than any other entry in the series. The 12th major installment in the franchise was also Ubisoft's top-selling PC launch, according to the publisher. Do you know what? GG's to Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed does it for a lot of people, and Assassin's Creed doesn't do it for a lot of people, which is understandable for a game that has 12 iterations. That's a lot of history. Even if this is a standalone game, a lot of people just by default will go, I don't know about Assassin's Creed, so I'm not going to watch it or play it or whatever. And you get it with TV. You could have Game of Thrones and someone might enjoy it, but 6 seasons into Game of Thrones, yeah, I'm not going to bother. There's a lot for me to catch up on. I won't bother. That's me with Gotham. I've tried to watch Gotham because Bibby said it's good, and knowing that there's like 20 episodes a season for like 1,000 seasons, it's just like I know I'm going to spend 6 months of my life watching this. I'll probably enjoy it, but I don't know. So I haven't. And understandable for people with Assassin's Creed for them to go, I'm not sure. But I think a new generation, new consoles, the new direction, and just the way they've positioned Valhalla, it just worked. It crossed enough for it to capture people's attention. Plus, Cyberpunk fucked itself up, so there's that too.
I think with this though, they're in such good company. Like Skyrim in 2011 and Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2018. And all Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably hot and cold with a lot of people, but it's still a widely regarded top tier game. So to be able to be one of the 3 games in that period of time that's managed to knock the ever present Call of Duty and FIFA, it's mental. It is mental. In such good company there. And it's a game that I've actually got. And I've just basically played the little bit at the beginning. I've got it installed. It's a game that I'm probably willing to jump on over Christmas now because I'm stuck on Days Gone. I'm still on the same fucking bit. But I will look to get into this one now. It's the one that broke the mold for me when it came to Assassin's Creed because it's in a franchise that I played the first one, never really been interested in the rest of them. But something about the Viking, theme about it that just thought, this is probably the one that's probably going to break the mold for me. I know I've just seen him in the chat then saying that it's got a little bit grindy, but that kind of stuff it doesn't really get that tedious for me. So long as it's not the absolute same missions over and over and over again. But I don't mind a little bit of grinding. I've played stupid amount of games that involve a lot of that. So yeah, I mean, GG's to Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed because they are in extremely good company with the other 2 games that I've mentioned on that list.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Red Dead is a game that I have, and even though it came out in 2018 and we're in 2020, I still haven't finished it. I want to. but one day maybe I will. It was just a bit tedious in the middle, which Asim's comment in there says, need to go back to Valhalla now that I've finished Cyberpunk. I put 40 hours in and about 50 to 20 of that was grinding. Annoying as the game is genuinely very good. Just wish they'd get rid of the level cap and force grind. It's a Ubisoft game. You have to. It's like contractual.
You have to climb up a tower to unlock one side of the map. If it's not, then it's not a Ubisoft game.
You could play Watch Dogs or whatever, but you have to climb up a tower and jump off it to hear an eagle scream.
Yeah. Far Cry, if you're not climbing up a tower to be able to unlock one side of the map, then it's not a Ubisoft game.
Okay, jumping back through the comments. It's been broken by the new seasonal update. You spawn in drunk. Okay, it's just gone off.
What?
It's so annoying. What's that one, Darius? Which
You spawn in drunk.
is this? Assassin's Creed Valhalla? If it is, then
I'm putting on right now. See you later, boys.
Tito
Piss simulator.
I mean, that's all I did in GTA Online. I'd go to my apartment and get trashed, so it's fine. Have you covered Valhalla putting in EXP boosts in the game store a month after release? We haven't. I don't know. Have you got any more details on that? Yeah, I don't know. Share. Bean says Assassin's Creed is the Fast and Furious of the gaming world. It is. Like one every year. Sometimes they churn them out so fast that it's not any good, whereas the underlying premise is really good. So yeah, it definitely is. That being said, I love Valhalla. Such a quality game, says Beans. Yeah, it does look good. It does look good. It's a game that I would happily play. But echoing Bonsai, I just need more time to play it. Not tried Valhalla yet, but I've had that since day one. Yes, this is life. Darius Stone said, Valhalla, you spawning drunk after the Yule update and every death. Imagine. Well, that's it. Did I die? Did I die last night, or was I just fucked up? I woke up drunk. Clearly, that's what it was. I love the Far Cry games, says Bonsai. I did see Smiths have Watch Dogs and FIFA on sale. Let me see if I can copy some of that without the URL modifier job is VG247. There we go. Okay, let's have a quick read. This is from last week by Patrick Dane at VG247. It says Assassin's Creed Valhalla adds XP boost microtransaction. Ubisoft has added a controversial new microtransaction to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. An XP boost as a microtransaction is no stranger to the Assassin's Creed franchise. This was most prominent in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where some players felt their progression throttled without buying a significant boost. That's why fans who dislike the practice were pleased to see that the shortcut wasn't included in the launch of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Well, unfortunately, that didn't last. A permanent XP boost has retroactively been added to the Assassin's Creed Valhalla store for 1,000 Helix credits. That's £10 in our real world currency. This boost provides a massive 50% bonus to character progression and can be used across all save games. There's also another option for $15 that adds a 50% boost for all earned money. Speaking to Game Informer, a Ubisoft representative explained the inclusion of the new microtransaction. They said, as more and more post-launch content becomes available, we want to give the option to players to advance their progression. Utilities allow players who lack the time to fully explore the world of Assassin's Creed Valhalla to be able to acquire the game's best gear, as well as other items, by accelerating their progress. Essentially, it's a bypass for players who are super busy, but not busy enough to complete the game, to get the best stuff without having to engage in grinding XP. This is bound to rub some players the wrong way, even if the game is entirely single player. Thankfully, Ubisoft did confirm that the rate of XP gain has not been tampered with in Valhalla, despite the boost coming out. Okay, my initial thoughts on that. I don't mind the concept. I don't mind the idea. If a game requires you to do a bunch of stuff and you want to spend some money to get there a bit quicker, I don't mind the idea. That said, you rewind that back a step, and taking in Asim's comments that the game has such a grind, then that is bad decision making. That grind isn't necessary. If people are having to grind for 15-20 hours and the game becomes boring and stale, then I'm having to spend money to not speed things up. I'm spending money to stop myself from not enjoying it. Then that is a poor decision. That's a decision based on money, so that you can get the extra $10 to $15 to $25 out of me. just so that I can buy these 2 add-ons. So the process of paying for this thing to speed up an enjoyable process that people would like to do, I don't mind that. If you want to pay to not run through something that you will enjoy because you want to get to the end game because you don't have the time for it, that's fine. Some people don't have the time. But to just instill 20 hours of shit to make people want to spend that money, that's the problem for me. So don't have the problem with it when it's done right. I do have a problem with it when it's just getting rid of the shit part of the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Why put the shit part in? Your game's not balanced. You've made a poor game that people are having to spend to get past. That's the problem for me. What are your thoughts, babe?
Devil's advocate, do you reckon that they've made the game grindy so that they can add something like this in for more people to get more money out of people to play the game less? So they made the grindy bits 4 times as long as they usually would, so that the people think, oh, I can't be fucking arsed with this. I'll just pay £5 or whatever the EXP boost is for them to be able to reduce that to an hour and a half. That is a devil's advocate question. I don't believe that they have done that at all, but it's just a thought.
My thought is that they've probably done that. If you do not have a £10 and a £15 or dollars, I don't know what actually it equates to in pounds. If I say pounds, I mean dollars, but it's just I'm a stupid British man, so it's what it is. 25 quid's worth of add-ons. You don't have 25 quid's worth of add-ons by accident to speed up something that doesn't necessarily need to be there. They've put that level of grind in for 2 reasons. One, because they feel it makes it an achievement for you in game, but if there is that much of a tedious grind in there, then and they have something that gets rid of that tedious grind as an added extra, that's not an accident. That is there by default. It's happened in the previous game, so I don't mind it. There was a comment in the chat. Thomas Adam, there we go. I don't mind microtransactions like that as it's up to the user and it's not a multiplayer game, so it's not pay to win. I agree. It's pay to speed up. It's pay to play. It's not even pay to play. It's just progression, which I don't mind that in itself. But my issue comes from just make the game, make a good game that's fast enough to progress through, and then have extra stuff as you grind. So we were talking about how idealistically, I know Cyberpunk's in a completely different situation from where we were, but what we knew from The Witcher is that you could play through the game in X amount of hours, but then there was probably 3 times the amount of hours on top of that as side stories that you can do after or on top of, not as part of the grind to get through the game. And that's where you get to. Ubisoft have previous and will probably continue to have previous with that, with designing games in ways that have similar mechanisms. I mean, it's a Ubisoft game. Companies that have success are not going to stray too far off the beaten path because that's where their success came. So they're going to keep doing things like that. But I just feel, whilst it keeps them in business as a company, from a single game's perspective, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is not going to be the perfect game that it could be because they aren't designing the perfect game. They're designing an exceptional game that's great for the business as well. And it's a shame, but it is what it is. I don't have too much of a problem with it. I just feel, for me, it's probably more likely that I'm not going to finish Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I will play it, most likely. Will I finish it? Maybe not if there's 20 hours worth of grind. Will I spend 10 quid to speed that grind up? Nah. Because if that grind can just be sorted, then it doesn't need to be there. But they want the money. So, yeah, it's definitely not there by accident. If they've got something on the marketplace that gets rid of that specific thing, it's there on purpose, which I'm not interested in that. That's a paywall. No, thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, says Gary Clark. I appreciate that one. Darius says, I don't feel like Valhalla's a grind at all. I mean, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I mean, I would like to hear more opinions like that because I've not heard many either way, really. I've not heard that much from it. Most of my opinions that I've heard have come in this stream. So that I'm kind of 2-1 at the moment, which is 33% in favour of it not being a grind, 66 in favour of it being a grind. So I would welcome more opinions. The fact that they have something on the store doesn't suggest to me does suggest that there's the potential of a grind. But if it's one of those subjective things, some people feel it's a grind, some people don't. I'm happy enough with that. If more people feel it's a grind, then that's a broken game that's just covered with a cost. It's a poorer game that's covered with a cost. But yeah, it is. Not as big as grind of Odyssey, but definitely there. The level cap is evidence of that. Sure, you can be close level-wise, but without a doubt, there is a grind aspect to it. You have to remember, devs invest in psychology experts to balance the fine line of trying to push users into spending. I get it. They're businesses to make money, but you have to be aware microtransactions aren't layered on top of a game. They are integral in their foundations. Absolutely. I believe if you do the story missions for each region, you level up enough for the next ones, and then the level cap is because the story carries over the different areas, which I think is fine. The grind is noticeable too, as the side stuff isn't great, so you feel it. It tries to be like The Witcher 3 in that respect, but the side missions are not as high quality as that. The level cap by nature introduces grind. Whether that grind is noticeable is down to how you design the side content around that. Ubisoft still hasn't nailed it, hence you feel it. In The Witcher 3, you don't. I mean, that's the difficult thing. Assassin's Creed has never nailed that side story stuff. I mean, it's always it's a bit of a meme. Even these days, it's like, oh, okay, we've got a side mission. What shall we do? And it's like, okay, do we be really creative and actually, let's just stop there because we could have been creative. But how about go and pickpocket that guy? Or how about go and assassinate that guy? I mean, this guy that you're going to assassinate is going to look different from the last guy that you assassinated. But rather than having 2 guards, this guy's going to have 3 guards. And he's going to be inside the building, not next to it. So, yeah, completely different mission. I think you find it's the exact... It's completely different. No, it's exactly the same. It's different. It's a different mission because there's 3 guys and not 2. And it's like, oh my God, it's just... Okay, fine. Let's go and do that. And whilst you do that, you do realise there's another tower that you can climb up to the top of, and okay. But the games look incredible, and the games are usually not buggy, so they play really well to do that sort of stuff as you're doing it. You're free running, you're jumping off stuff, you're taking people down, works and looks exceptional. So if you get enough of the balance, it's fine. I haven't played it, so I can't say if there's enough balance for me. But I know that the first one didn't have the right balance. The second one reportedly did. But beyond that, I've no idea. So you tell me. The maddest grind I've ever had in the game was learning to read in Kingdom Come Deliverance, and I really enjoyed that. As in you couldn't read before you played that game? I think there's easier ways to learn to read than playing video games. God, I applaud the effort there is. So as in, I mean, I've never played Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's a game that we did cover social media for Koch Media. But you have to learn to read as your character in game. Is that how that works? I don't know. Anyway, just realised we are 1 hour and 43 minutes into the final scoop of the year, so we are going to start to put a pin in things. Make sure I've covered everything off. Yeah, there was one other news article that we were going to feature, which was about Among Us being the most played game ever. But do you know what? You kind of know a lot of people playing it because it's a mobile game. It's pretty cheap. $4.99 is usually the most you're ever going to pay for it. So surprise, a game that's pretty cheap and is really easy to play and allows you to play with your friends has been successful. Ta-da! Breaking news. You started as this peasant that couldn't do anything. You had to learn how to read and sword fight and stuff, and it took hours. See, that sort of stuff is not bad inherently. Having to do stuff like that is not bad in itself. That's a game having content. The difference between having to progress and having a grind is quite subtle but quite significant. So I don't mind having to build my character. It's just when it's a chore to do so. That's the thing. When is the ICU Among Us stream? Shake my head. Did you not see it? It was amazing. Literally there was like everyone from the PES community. Absolutely everyone was in it. Were you not there, Pirate? Oh, this is awkward. Oh no. Literally everyone from the PES community was there. Everyone. But oh god. Oh no. I'm joking. I don't know actually. We may play it at some point. But today is not that day. Gary says, Merry Christmas, guys. Have a great one, and we'll see you in the new year. Take it easy. Thank you very much, Gary. So we are going to wrap things up now. We are done for 2020. Effectively, we are going to record some content that will just go out on our YouTube. Do I have chatbot open? I do. Let me type exclamation mark YouTube. I don't know if this works. It does. Hey, and it doesn't even have our new link. That's how old that command is. It's the same link. YouTube.com/
The link works.
Yeah, exactly. YouTube.com/ice cream uploads. So there you go. There you go. But we will have a video put on there to keep you guys entertained a little bit. Not as often as we usually do, but throughout the Christmas period. We are going to go and enjoy some food, enjoy some games, and enjoy some time with our families. So we won't be scooping each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish for now until the start of January, because, you know, it's Christmas for us too. But we hope you guys have a fantastic festive period. Hope you get all the things that you want, and like a very immature 10 to 20 years ago Graham would have said, I hope the fat man empties his sack all over for you, and I hope it's exactly what you want it to be. So there you go. What was that?
It's called you a perv, mate.
Before we disappear, Bib, and the last time in 2020 and pre-Christmas, is there anything you would like to add?
Yes, there's no point me talking about if you want to get involved with the show, blah blah blah, because by the time you give it me, it'll only be cyberpunk news anyway, and it'll probably be highly irrelevant. However, there is something else that I'd want to say today. I only seen this morning, and I don't know how I managed to miss it, but I don't know if he's still in the chat, but Shogun is cooking for the homeless, and any of the subs that he would have taken over from the 7th of December, I think it was, until the 20th. So I only seen it today, 2 days after it closed. However, he does still have his charity PayPal stuff. So I'm just going to drop the link into the chat. If anyone does have any spare money that wants to contribute to this, so any £5 that he gains after this will be another meal for the homeless. So just drop the link into his page, his charity page. At the very bottom of the layer is a PayPal link to the charity pool. If you do have any spare change, chuck that into that, and he will be able to do that, obviously, over the Christmas period. But in terms of everything else, I hope everyone else has a fantastic Christmas. I know a lot of yous may be either isolating or staying in, or if you're in London, not seeing any of your family, unfortunately. But hopefully what we have coming out around Christmas Day will help soften that burden slightly. Because listening to two northern lads talk about video games probably isn't the greatest thing in the world, but hopefully it'll give you some sort of company. Yeah, you're all right, mate. Going to Cyberpunk, yeah. Hopefully it'll be able to do something, but we will be back in the new year giving you some awesome content, hopefully, if you call it some awesome content. But apart from that, I do wish you all the best to you and all your families. There isn't anything else for me to say apart from that, but stay safe and hopefully have a good time over the Christmas New Year, because, ladies and gentlemen, you deserve it.
You goddamn right you do. You goddamn right. Let me just open this up. I hadn't seen this. In my defense, I have been coronavirused from when this was happening, but Shaw says, you may well seen the announcement during my birthday stream, but for those who missed it, I'm cooking Christmas dinner for the homeless again, and any subs I get between now and December the 20th will go towards an extra meal. So Shogun's Christmas dinner, spreading the vibes this Christmas. For every sub point I have on Twitch by 11:59 on 20th of December, I will cook and deliver one Christmas dinner to someone homeless or in need this Christmas. I'll also email all subs for the chance to accompany their meal with a personalised message of goodwill. Every sub point equals one extra meal on top of the 15 I was going to do anyway. So here's the thing, my chat went crazy, and now I need to make 76 meals and counting. And in the chat, Pirate says 84 meals. So that's huge. 84 meals. Okay, let me just say 84 sub points on Show's channel. Let's forget charity for now. That is huge for him. So GG's everyone that's supporting him, trying to support other people. That's huge for him. But 84 meals. That's I mean, that's a lot of work for one person to do. But like, that's just incredible. Let's say if he was doing, let's say 4 people are in a house, in a family. That's 21 houses he's going to be fully kitting out. That's incredible. That's incredible. So GG Show. What a guy. Absolutely huge. I did not know any of that. I genuinely had missed. I've missed a lot over the last few weeks because of COVID head, but it is what it is. But that's massive. GG Show. What a guy. I mean, all the bad things that I say about him, some of them might not be true as well. I mean, some of them definitely are.
A lot of them are warranted.
Obviously. Yeah, 100%.
But for those of you that are watching this live, listen to some podcast services, it's shogunash.com/Christmas-dinner if you want to go over to there and donate yourselves, obviously because the link isn't in the chat for you guys. But if you do have any pocket change knocking around, then feel free to go over there and help feed the homeless, as he will be at this moment in time making 87 meals. If we can make that 90 or 95 or even 100, that'll be absolutely amazing. Plus, it's more work for him, and let's get the guy working. Do you know what I mean? He's a lazy bastard. He does fuck all for 11 months. Let's get this guy working.
You're goddamn right. Goddamn right. Okay, we're going to wrap things up. His birthday stream, they raised a lot, plus you get to see that. You get to see that Shogun smile. Nobody wants to see that. Okay, maybe we do. He has... loads in the area offering to help. That's amazing. GG, sure. His community really coming together was nice to see. Can Bibby play the guitar in the back? Says Golden Goose.
You heard the #1 hit single "Fuck You Ferno" earlier this month, but that's it. No, I am actually going to try and play a tune. So when we come back over the Christmas from the Christmas period, I may be able to play one tune. I don't know what that's going to be, but I'm going to try again for the 5th time to try and learn how to play guitar because I am terrible.
Yeah. Goddamn right. Show says, "Oh, I've just come back to see my name in chat. What's going on?" It was all bad things. All bad things.
Flagging you off.
The horrendous things. No, we were talking about... I did not know about this. I've obviously had COVID, so I've missed shitloads, and I did not know this was a thing. Your Christmas dinner. So Pirates just informed me that you have to make 84 meals, which is huge. And I said, forgetting the charity thing, you getting 84... subs on your channel as well it shows you just how much you're relatively okay as a person. There we go. No, GG show, that's massive. Well done. Big moves. Nice. I love the fact that you've used your birthday, which is entirely your day, for you to be extravagant and focus entirely on yourself, to do exactly the opposite and look at other people. So GG.
Levels.
Absolute levels, 100%. No, well done. Seriously, big shit. I mean, it's not quite score against cancer levels, you know. Just saying. But whatever. Graham, you can't compare charity to charity. Fuck's sake, it's Christmas. I know, joking. No, seriously, good effort. I'm going to go and check it out. The link, we did put the link in the chat, as Bibby mentioned, shogunash.com/Christmas-dinner. Check it out. I will be checking it out because I've not seen it, so we'll have a look. That's it. Almost 2 hours of a scoop. What a way to finish the year. If you are watching this on YouTube, then I appreciate all the adverts that you've been sat through. We're not going to make any money off those adverts because, you know, we're only like, 4 pence, but we appreciate the 4 pence. It's fine. Thank you, everyone. Hope you've had a very, very big year. We are hundreds and hundreds of episodes into the scoop now, and we have more and more viewers, more and more people with us live in the chat on Twitch each and every single episode. The growth of this has been exceptional. And long may it continue. We'll continue this content all the way through the next year, to whether that's in lockdown or not. You can guarantee that you'll have the scoop there to see you through it. Plus some games as well. That's nice.
Do you want to know how many episodes we've done, Graham?
Go on then, tell me.
This is episode 276.
Whew, that's incredible. So we'll be
mental line it
300 before we hit the end of next month. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Wow. We're running a giveaway hitting 2K followers. Okay, chatbot, that finished. Shut up, you liar. We will have a giveaway though. We do have one final thing to mention. We haven't announced what it is yet, but we will have a giveaway the first Monday, so the 4th of January. We will pick someone to win the loot drop, and that is anyone that's a sub on our channel is included in the loot drop. We give a prize away, one prize every month to a winner. Gagad was the supremely lucky person that managed to bag themselves a copy of Cyberpunk, the world's best, most working game in the world ever, this month. Unlucky. No, it'll be good. It's fine. But we will give away something at the start of next month. So if you're a sub, we will give that away. But you don't have to sub. You only get to enter that if you are a sub. Don't worry if you're not, though. We do extra giveaways sporadically as well for people that are just within our community, like the Back for Blood codes we gave away last week. If anyone got one of those, then nice, enjoy. But almost 300 episodes of the scoop in. That's big numbers. I didn't realise we were that far into it, but nice. Anyway, yeah, that's it for us. Have yourselves a fantastic Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you celebrate it or not, enjoy the holidays, enjoy the new year, and we'll see you live, at least, if not before, in 2021. Until then, have yourselves a fantastic Christmas and New Year, and And Bib, what they gotta do?
Have a good time and stay frosty!